turn it up. We got a week off. We got a week off. Let's turn up here. Before we take a little break.
School's out for the summer.
Man, that was light work, fellas. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Winners Lounge. Presented as always by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. We use promo code DNVR when we sign up. And guess what, Dev? I had myself a nice little night.
Hey, I love to hear that.
I think we lost one bet. It was the Jokic points bet. He was not interested in scoring tonight, but delivered on everything else.
I mean, DraftKings keeps on giving us these opportunities to win money, and we're going to win. We're going to win.
You're talking about that sounded like somebody selling like a multi-level marketing. Like, I have an opportunity for you. It's laundry detergent soap, and if you get 3 people you know to order, we all get 3 people. We're gonna make so much money. Nuggets, good game, man. Heading into the All-Star break.
Nuggets.
There's so many good things to talk about. Light work here. Michael Porter Jr. knocking down threes, playing some defense.
Ooh.
Maybe making the biggest play of the game. Jeff Green, the dunking uncle.
Whoa.
He looked a young 31 years old tonight. Wound back the clock. Very spry.
Didn't look an age a day over 1,000.
Did not. He looked as good as we've seen him really since the injury. And then Christian Braun guarded Luka Doncic tonight, which I thought was really interesting. So we got lots of stuff to talk about. Unfortunately for me, I got the fellas with me. Drinking a Corona in the snow.
Yeah, find your own beach, right? That's what they say. My beach is watching the Denver Nuggets in Ball Arena.
Yeah.
That's a vacation every time.
That was so corny. How old are you? That was something I would have said. That sounds like I'm sorry.
You think I prepare for these openings?
Sorry.
Come on, that's all right.
We all get old. Over there, Superstar Dev.
I mean, this is a good way to go into the All-Star break. A very solid win, a very solid team win. Can't ask for much more.
That's right, man. Let's have a good, solid team show, fellas. A lot of energy, a lot of focus.
A lot of energy. We'll do a fast breakdown here really quickly. Bruce on Luka to start the game. We're going to talk more about him. It's funny to me that Bruce got the reputation of being like, oh, he can guard big. I actually think he can't.
Yeah.
I think he's good against guards and not against big. Luka did not see him at all tonight. It didn't matter, fortunately, because the Nuggets are really good and Dallas tonight was not. The Mavs hard doubled Jokic from the very start. Nuggets always go to the post early on. Tonight was a rare example of a team that just sold out right from the start, saying, hey, we're going to take away from Jokic's scoring. Michael Porter Jr., though, was up for it. 2 threes immediately. I love when he hit. You guys know that when he hits 2 threes, they almost never lose.
I've heard
2 threes in a quarter.
Yeah.
2 threes right off the bat in the first 3 minutes. Jokic had just 1 point, 0 of 2 shooting. Luka Doncic, on the other hand, was going off. Nuggets yet were winning. Malone did not challenge a foul on Jeff Green that I thought if he would have challenged it, not only would it have saved a basket, it was an offensive foul on Luka, and I thought it was a pretty good case. Malone elected to save his challenge, which was an interesting call. Nuggets go up at the end of the first quarter. Bench unit, though, guys, checks in. Absolutely rolling in that second quarter. Bench unit looked unbelievable. KCP and Jeff Green hit threes. Nuggets got a 10-point lead. And then in the second quarter, the Mavs challenged a weird, non-important play on Christian Braun, and they lost. So it was a little contrast. Kidd and Malone both had presented the same circumstance challenge. Dallas challenge lost, and it was like, well, you lost that one. Then Christian Braun got an opportunity on Luka, did some interesting things. But Luka is Luka. You can't stop him. Second quarter, Jokic woke up, scored half of his points in quick order to end the quarter. And then MPJ hit a really deep 3.
Yeah, he did.
From the logo. Somehow the tracking data called it a 27-footer. BS. That thing was a 32-footer.
That's just because Porter, from his feet to his hands, is 14 feet. So
that thing was from half court, wasn't it?
That was
from the logo?
So deep.
Logo Porter Jr.
There was no way they could even defend it.
I mean, nobody even ran out on it.
They couldn't.
It was so far. If he adds that to his game, my God.
He's been playing with it.
He has a little bit. Christian Braun in the second half started over KCP, but made me nervous for a second. Then KCP checked in. I don't know if it was a bathroom break, whatever it was. And then KCP hit back-to-back threes from the left corner. You called it, Dev. You called it. He gets snubbed from the All-Star game. He's going to hit threes tonight. He went off.
I mean, you
can have it, Dev.
He's just knocking down everything right now.
Was that
yeah, but
so much
give it to Dev.
spacing.
Give it to Dev.
It was me. I was just thinking about it. No, really, that was him.
My bad. That was a great...
Dev's usually the one with the good insight. I get it. I get it.
Sorry, Vote. That was a great take. It was a great call. Nuggets were up 19. Here's the thing that I didn't like. Nuggets were up 19. Michael Porter Jr. had a turnover and then an early contested 3. Denver did this 2 or 3 times tonight where they were up and it was just 2 more minutes and Dallas is going to fold. It's the All-Star break. They don't want to be there. And instead, Denver, like, every time would go down and make, like, 2 or 3 bad decisions in a row, and it comes back. But fortunately, Jeff Green was up for it. In that third quarter, he went off. He had a dunk. He had a 3. He had a reverse. A little bit of everything. Fourth quarter, Thomas Bryant had that big-time and one putback. You guys remember that? Then a 9-0 run off for Dallas. Again, Denver's up 21. 9-0 run in less than 30 seconds. Yoke has to come back in, which is awesome because it just means he got to get a triple-double.
Might have been the plan the whole time.
It might have been the plan that they were like, you know what? Let this fall back to 10 points. We'll bring Yoke in. He'll get a triple-double. Exactly what happened. The dagger was Michael Porter Jr. getting a great block in transition on just straight hustle and athleticism, and then following it up with a dagger 3 from the wing. Big-time play. All right, Dev, what's your big takeaway from this one?
My big takeaway in this one was how many times last year or just in years past could you look at the box score and see that 4 guys on the Nuggets team, including a bench guy, took more shots than the MVP?
True.
And they still cruise to a victory. This is a deep roster. This is a deep team. This is a team that's playing as a team. And it's great to see it coming into the All-Star break where they're going to get their guys back. So if you could find some type of rhythm, some type of groove for this second unit, it's just going to be that much more scary when everybody's back and you just get to get rolling on all cylinders.
I like it.
It's a good one. It's a good one. It's another team win. I'm going to do it, fellas. I'm not going to wait for the playoffs. I'm going to put Michael Winter Jr. in my circle of trust.
I love it. That's your big takeaway is Michael Porter tonight.
I've seen it enough times, man, and it was defense tonight too. I thought he played a great game defensively tonight. Was not option A, B, C on Luka, but on the few possessions he had to, his length popped.
Yep.
Those blocks were big time. That was a winning play. That game was not yet done. Someone needed to drive the final nail. He hustled and he did it. You see, look, man, you're not going to see this guy score 40 points like on this team. Doesn't dribble enough. He's not that big of a part of the offense. But his ability to just take the start of a game and take Denver's good start and turn it into a great start and create that separation. I mean, obviously it all starts with Jokic, but Porter is doing so much well right now. Tonight was one of his better games of the season, I thought.
I love that take, and I'm telling you, the Jokic-Porter duo, we don't think of it because there's not a lot of two-man game that happens, but in a weird way, if you just have a regular season game, you might have a better winning percentage when those two are available than any other combo of two guys.
No, I get it.
You get those two guys, and it just feels like Denver gets their easiest wins. Like, routinely, you don't have Aaron Gordon, you don't have Jamal Murray. We know how valuable those guys are, but yet tonight, it was so easy. You called him Michael Winter Jr. First of all, when he made that play, the block and the 3, and I put something out there that was like winning plays, everybody's reply was the same. Is he finally in your circle of trust? So I love that you led with it.
I love
the streets are watching, the streets are talking. They want to know, is he in?
I think it's one of the big only remaining questions for this team. And sort of how far will they go in the playoffs? If the answer to that question is yes, you're feeling great, in my opinion.
Dev, it was the athleticism, man. That block that he had, it wasn't just that play. He's grabbing rebounds. He's doing some other stuff. But that block, to me, what was so crazy about it is he covers so much ground. And his athleticism, I don't know where it's at from what we've seen of him in a Nuggets uniform, but I'm going to guess it's like 70%. It started the year at like 30%.
Yeah, he's just so locked in. And I mean, multiple guys have talked about it throughout the year where there's just parts of the game where he's just not locked in. That was late in the game.
Yeah,
you know, he had already knocked down his shots. He had already did enough to have a good game, but he still is just chirping. He's still trying to get into it. He's still working extremely hard. And that's where like things are like clicking. You talk about the athleticism. He's starting to realize that he's way taller than everyone else. He wasn't the primary defender on Luka, but like Vogt said, he played him extremely hard because he used his length. He made him have to pass it. And you know, Luka wasn't just getting straight shots up. So I feel like he's just like starting to realize that his length is a bigger weapon for him. And it just like, it takes them to new heights.
There's data on this, and I can look it up. Maybe I'm dead wrong on it, but I just feel like Porter. You know how there's like a false contest where you can't block the shot, but you still put your hand up and you run out.
Yes,
just the token, and it's good defense. I'm not saying you don't try to block especially in today's NBA. Like you can't try to block, you'll get a foul. But I feel like Porter doing that has the best defense rate. Like even tonight, to your point, when he was guarding Luka, there was 2 or 3 times where he just closed out regular. It was like, all right, you want your step back? And Luka was way off on all of them. And I just feel like there's something about Porter's length that makes guys second guess every time.
And he knows that, by the way. And I think that's been one of the biggest adjustments to his defense. Health is, I think, most important, and we're seeing it. But there's been a shift in approach because his hips don't turn very quickly. It's not very fluid. And he's huge. Like, guys will blow by him. So I think rather than trying to, like, beat every guy to the spot, he's started positioning himself to, like, all right, I might lose some ground here. But if I can contest the shot, if I can get involved with my length, I can still keep them from getting their best look or at least make it difficult. Again, that'll be tested a lot in the playoffs. But this is intentional. He has talked about the guys who defend with length and how he wants to take that approach. So to me, this is like he envisioned the process and then he put in the work, and now we're seeing the results.
It really, 8 of 16 tonight. First of all, he took a team high 16 attempts tonight, which is awesome. This is the thing about playing with Yoke. He didn't want to score tonight, so everybody else gets involved. But what's great about it, by the way, Jeff Green also took 16 shots. But what's great about it is Porter took, 16 felt like the right number. You know what I mean? He was on fire, but he wasn't forcing stuff. There was one shot I thought he forced, a mid-range, sort of step back he missed. That was the only shot. And to be honest, he's a good enough player that I kind of like him trying those out every here and there because they help you test the parameters. Was that good? Okay, maybe not, whatever. But I'm just so impressed with him that he can be as efficient and as dynamic as he has as a shooter and yet still, not force it, even on a night like tonight where the stakes were low. He could have very easily gunned for points tonight, the way any player can gun for stats in a blowout win. And instead, he just stuck with the program. I'm just so impressed with Michael Porter.
He did it backwards tonight as well. He didn't start with just straight jumpers. He got inside. He got to the rim and finished. He had a Euro finish that got him going. And then from there, he gets his feet set, and he's going to knock it down if his feet are set. He's also stepping back into shots. I just feel like his offensive repertoire has just added a lot more, where mid-range and everything else makes it tough for a defender to be able to slow him down. We haven't even talked about him putting the ball on the floor as of late.
Great point, Dev.
Because he's shown that that's in his bag. He's shown that he has made vast improvement on that end of the floor, where guys have to close out on him. Then he's too tall, so they could blow by him. Then he could finish in different ways. So he's just continues to just work on his game, perfect his craft, and he's doing it within the flow of the offense.
I love your point about him getting to the rim because it really is a piece of his game that he has shelved. And I think a lot of that's because the athleticism and just coming back from injury. But as that has gotten more dynamic, and I love that you called the Euro because you know what and the inventor of the Euro or the popularizer is Manu Ginobili. You know what Ginobili had that made him so good at it is such a skinny waist that his pivoting on he could fit through the tiniest he could slalom people because he didn't need to go too far left or right. He could just somehow slither through. Yeah. And Porter has that too. He's so skinny and his pivot point is so skinny that one that you're talking about, there was no room. It was this much space to go through 2 players, and he found a way and then gets the easy layup. And I just feel like he's good at it. I hope that this is a thing we start to see more of Michael Porter down the stretches. He has it in his game, and it makes Denver so much harder to guard when you have to run out on him so hard and then scramble to help when he drives and attacks the closeout.
And just the way that it's selective. That's kind of what I was saying with the 40-point thing. That wasn't meant as a knock on him. He's a good enough scorer, but he doesn't dribble. He doesn't dominate games like that.
Yeah.
He takes the shots when they come to him, and he's not a guy who's going to it's just not this. Now he's not as good, but it's just not the same as SGA, who's look, it's 4 quarters of me driving, and that's what you got to deal with, and I'm getting 40 tonight. But I also mean that to praise him because he's understood when to draw back, when to let it be Yoke and Murray. It's not easy to flip these switches, man.
Right. My big takeaway is that the Denver Nuggets win easier than ever, and I think we take it for granted, honestly, because if you think back to the Jokic era, 2015 through 2020, the bubble year, but in the regular season, Denver, it felt didn't win games as easy as you would have hoped in the regular season. You always thought man, why was that game so hard for Denver? I feel like we take for granted this year because everybody kind of came back together, everybody's healthy and everything. Just how many games we've had tonight. What would you call this effort tonight? collectively, like Jeff played well, MPJ played well. Jokic was in second gear. Jokic did not get out of second gear tonight. Bruce Brown was okay. This was like a B game from Denver, and it was a 20-point beatdown with 3 minutes to go. Denver wins easier than ever with this team, and I almost feel like it's under the radar how much this happens.
Yeah, I mean, you can even think about just like in years past, like the curse. Everybody knew it was the third quarter. When's the last time you thought about the curse third quarter?
That's a great take.
Like, you don't think about the same things that you used to. A team playing down to an opponent. This was the Mavericks team that did not have Kyrie Irving like right into the game. So they game planned for Kyrie. He didn't play. This is a team that they could have just, slept walk throughout the entire time. Also, they're playing without two of their starters. They have a bench that has, changed. You have to take away their primary ball handler. They don't have a new guy that's in the lineup. Right. They have guys that were picking up DMPs all, to begin the season. And there's just no excuses. They just continue to roll. They continue to be favored in every single game. They continue to play well. So I do think that it gets overlooked because you don't feel that same smug life. You don't feel that.
It's true, man. I think it's because we waited so long for it. We're almost kind of in shock at how much we've arrived at a place.
What's up?
What did we say? What did you say?
Huh? I said they continue to play well.
What did he say?
I feel like I missed something.
I think maybe we missed something. I thought I heard something bad over there. I thought I heard something bad.
They continue to play well.
Okay.
They're sleepwalking or something. Just let it go.
Maybe I didn't catch something. Go ahead.
I lost it now. Yeah, I agree with everything Dev said except for the maybe problematic thing.
It is true, though. I mean, like, you look at this tonight, just not having the full complement of players. Even now you add a Reggie Jackson. It's just Denver's winning easy, man, and it's so encouraging. I mean, Jokic played hard for like the 3 minutes he played hard was to close the second quarter, and that was it tonight. That was the only time. Then he came back in to get a triple-double just for funsies, like just to like, why not? I don't know. Nuggets are in a very comfortable spot. They're so confident. I have confidence in them because of watching them. Like tonight you watch them and you're like, oh, they are in complete control. They are not bothered, not any. Even coming out of the timeout when they blew the 21-point lead and is down to 10, you watch them come out and immediately score, and you're like, yeah, they're not. They're going to win this one by however many they choose to. That to me is my big takeaway from them, and it was great to watch. Are you ready for our first break here?
Yeah.
On the other side, we're going to bring in a Serbian.
Whoa.
We gave our big takes, but we need the big take of a true Serbian. After this game.
By the way, grammatical question: are we supposed to be saying Serbs as opposed to Serbia? Is a person a Serb? And
I think a Serbian is a person from Serbia, and I don't know. Actually,
all right, we'll find
Serbs, correct us.
Let us know.
Maybe we'll ask our Serbian who's coming on. He knows for sure.
One thing I know about is Breckenridge Brewery. They're the official beer of DNVR, and they're also putting out the Breck Brew Ultimate Fan Experience right now. You got to check our socials. We provided a link. There's some fun vids with me and Dev. They're going to get you courtside, man. Courtside tickets, parking pass, highly underrated for this operation. Club Lexus access, which we're not allowed to go in there. We've tried. Not even Dev.
I tried to get in there.
Consider that.
I'm going to get in there.
You can, though, with this Ultimate Fan Experience.
We actually got to get Dev in Club Lexus.
Make sure you follow our socials. You click the link.
Club Lexus,
you follow the instructions from Breckenridge Brewery and get yourself eligible to win the Ultimate Fan Experience. And then otherwise, just try all their great beers, like the Mile High City Golden Ale, Denver Nuggets themed, officially licensed. It's good stuff. A lot of good sports happening in Denver right now. You may not know about one great sports culture in Denver, and that's the rugby culture. This is Rugbyville, USA, baby.
We're going to do a field trip this summer. We have a field trip series going on where we do a party bus, but we're going to go to a Rapids game. We're going to go to a couple Rockies game. We're going to do one of these Raptors events, and it's going to be fun, man. It's just like, it's one of those things. Maybe you haven't ever done it before. We're checking out.
I actually have been. They're great. Serb is an ethnic group. Serbian is a citizen.
That's what
Serbia.
I almost said.
I think you were right.
I was about to go there.
I think you're right. Here's the deal: the American Raptors play at Infinity Park. It's great. It's fun, and they've just done something really cool. They've joined the Columbia Rugby Federation. That's an intercontinental competition featuring 6 teams from South America, not South Carolina or South Dakota, South America. The Raptors are the only North American team in the competition. They'll play 6 matches at home, 6 matches on the road. All those home matches, the tickets are free. Stay up to date with all the news around the Raptors move to the brand new Super Rugby Americas by following along at DNVR_rugby. Our guy Colton Strickler will keep you up to date with weekly podcasts and regular written content.
Love it. All right, back here, segment 2. Do we have a Serbian calling in? Right from Serbia? Let's bring him in. Oh my gosh, look at him.
Oh, man, there he goes.
Miroslav looks weird.
Yeah, true Serbian. Dobro dan.
Guys, Živeli. Yes, Živeli to you.
God, that looks so dark.
That's definitely,
that looks
that's
really
not Rocky.
tough.
That was a Diet
Jägermeister?
Coke, it looked like. It looked like a Diet Coke.
That
Eric,
was a Diet Coke.
How is Serbia?
It's very early. It's currently 5 in the morning. Did you know that these games are played at 5 in the morning?
I did know that.
people
That's
are
rough.
psychos.
It's really rough.
Yeah, I've obviously not acclimated at all. I'm still on Colorado time, and which means I don't believe I've slept since you've seen me last. I have no idea what's going on. What day is it?
Has Serbia asked about us?
Yeah, nonstop. Really. First off, they can't stop talking to me. I mean, I've literally only been in an airplane and then a car and an apartment, but people are knocking on doors. People are. It's a little intrusive, but we love it all the same.
So Eric, just tell us, what's your big takeaway from watching this game from abroad?
All the Nuggets are good. That's it. They're all good. The Nuggets are great. They're a great team. Everything works out for the Nuggets. We've waited long enough, and now we're being rewarded. Also, the Nuggets honestly are like just moved into this upper echelon of teams where going into the All-Star break, they're picking up wins instead of losing.
Right.
Like, the Dallas Mavericks were not interested in winning this game or playing this game because they're in the lower echelon of teams. And so somehow the Nuggets are increasing their their lead in the West. It's they have 41 wins, and the All-Star break just happened. Like 41 wins was as many wins as you could hope for an entire season for 10 years.
For a long time. Yeah,
That's true.
I love that take though, because it is Dallas is not in the point of their arc where Denver is. Denver has been battle tested. We've been through all these different arcs, and now you have to win hard and focus, but you also have to win easy. And Denver tonight won easy, and that is the mark of a true great team, is that they just get wins when it's like, yeah, we didn't have to bring out our ace in the hole, we didn't have to bring out our A game, we went with our B game,
including our 2-time MVP, who can just be like, can you guys just can Jeff Green, can you just shoulder this scoring load tonight? And he's like, fine, it's fine, I'll do it. I don't care.
What was the most shocking?
They do whatever they want.
What was the most shocking part of tonight?
Attempting to find it on the interweb. To watch the game is the most difficult part. I have to say, watching the game at the bar has spoiled me. I did not realize the plight of the common man. Having to just watch the Nuggets is a feat that I did not realize so many people were just having to go through. I mean, it's I'm disgusted at Comcast.
as is Mayor Wellington Webb, or former Mayor Wellington Webb.
Good.
Real quick, just about Michael Porter Jr. We raved about him. We spent the first segment talking about him. I mean, Jeff Green was a huge standout. You know, there's some other standouts we'll get to, but for you personally, has he checked all the boxes, or is this like, hey, he's in the process of checking them?
Oh, the entire starting lineup has been in my circle of trust for weeks now. I mean, it's not even. The thing is, it's not like really about the individual performances. It's the way that the squad plays together. It's like you don't even need Michael Porter to be playing his best basketball for the Nuggets to stomp teams. And now that he is, or at least is approaching, or at least is en route to his best basketball, it's like, I mean, I'm terrified for everybody. Like, I don't know. Like, pack it up, guys. Like, imagine if Jamal Murray and AG had played tonight. Like,
I know.
What would that have looked like?
Yeah, it would have been even more. Or Reggie Jackson even on top of that. There's 3 Nuggets that didn't play tonight that probably will play. The last one I want to ask you, DraftKings has the odds for Denver winning the Western Conference at -3,000. Which we keep talking about, like, okay, Memphis, they're right here, but Vegas is like, yeah, it's over, guys. It's Denver. What do you make of that?
I agree. I mean, I absolutely agree. Like the Nuggets, they're truly like they're just getting. I mean, to me, like again, the fact that the Nuggets are picking up steam going into the All-Star break says everything to me about where this team is, how they're positioned, where their mindset is. Like the fact that they're not letting off the gas, they're not just going 1, 2, 3 Cancun like they have in years past. Like they're actually keeping their eyes on the prize. It's a beautiful thing. I'm going to go to bed. It's 5:51 a.m.
Hold on, I have one question to just end with.
What?
Since you
By the way,
are
I heard what you said, Dev. I heard what you said.
Let's not talk about it. Since you are in Serbia, can you just give us 2 or 3 things that you are for sure going to eat before you leave?
I can't remember any of the names. Let's just say meat. That's
a good bet.
There's one in particular you have to get to. KFC.
You're talking about the
KFC. KFC.
My man knows me too well.
Oh my God! All right,
that was your best one, by the way.
We'll see you, buddy. We'll see you. Thank you for your insight. Valuable insight there. Live from Serbia. Let's get to some of these other guys, though. Tonight, the Dunking Uncle brought it, man. He was the game-high 24 points.
You could say Adam.
Is he the DraftKings Sportsbook's king of the game?
Bring it up, Kale, because we got a pun in everything. He is the DraftKings Sportsbook uncle of the game.
Uncle of the game. That stat sheet doesn't look as impressive. 24, 1-1.
Google last time Jeff Green scored 24 points.
Yeah, it's so true. Like, yeah.
You should have just put 24 points multiple times.
Yeah, and then put like 11 of 16, plus 2.
Or how many dunks?
How many dunks?
You could have did that, man.
Bounce back game or something like that.
Yeah, but honestly, like
one rebound. The rebound was hilarious.
Sorry.
The rebound was a strong.
It was also really close to being
rim
24-0-0. It would have made a really hilarious king of the game graphic. Why are we dogging on our guy, man?
We just can't, man. Like he drank from the fountain of youth in this game. 24 points.
Yes, sir.
That is monstrous for him because you just don't expect it. Like that's just like that right now. I think that has to be, besides the Vlatko dunk, has to be the most unexpected part of the season. Jeff Green has been in much of a funk right now. So for him to bounce back right now, right after Malone talks about Vlatko being the guy, he makes it. Like, what a luxury to have an extra guy that you're like, maybe I need to have a deeper bench.
Was that 4D chess by Malone? I need more out of Jeff here. Thinking about this bench with Vlatko.
Are you still upset?
Me?
Yeah.
What would I be upset about? By you?
Just the way you're looking at him. I can feel it, too.
Look, man. Yes. Of course
You may have just effed the whole
you might have
thing
effed the whole season up. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm upset. This is like... sadly, only ever proven to be a curse. Like we're like 5 for 5 on it screwing things up. So I'm a little scared. The other guy I think we have to talk about though is KCP because he had been in a little bit of a shooting. I don't want to call it a shooting slump. He had been shooting below his standards.
Sure.
For 5 games. Again, not extended period of time, but a short period of time. Tonight, man, he was nails. Only 4 of 7, but 3 of 6 from 3. 14 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Is he? Honest question. Does he have any shot at making can he get all defensive votes? Because honestly, he is so freaking good as a guard, defending guards. He's so good at it that I don't really think anybody's better than him.
I just don't think he's going to get... There are guys that are thought of as like they always take the best player. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just don't... KCP is just such a complementary piece. I don't think you're ever going to... I just don't know if he's ever going to get those kind of accolades.
Well, I mean, this is almost rhetorical because he didn't even get invited to the 3-point contest. Like, he's not going to get any of this. But my question is, should he? Like, I'm just looking at this and I'm going, there are defenders who have reputations for being like, oh, that guy's like Marcus Smart, really good defender. He won it last year. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, KCP just cancels guys out. Right. Whoever he's going up against is like, yeah, that guy is going to have a bad game. They're going to have to go with someone else.
Dude, he's just such an underrated defender. Like, he really does not get the respect that he deserves. But he should be in the conversation for sure. There's not a player in the league that like navigates through screens the way that he does, just to get guys out of their spot. And he's also like such a vet that he's been around so many players. And that's what they love him for. It's not just for buckets. It's not just for threes. It's because he has such a balanced game, an all-around game. And, I mean, he's been a godsend for the Nuggets. He filled up the box score tonight in every single way. 3 steals, a block. Yeah. What are you smirking about?
Yeah, he's got something going on.
What's going on?
This guy.
All right. I got to say so. Scroll up here because Casey has a great point here. Casey has a great point. We have to break it. Dev said the unholy word. He said the unholy word, but I like this. Eric is literally the only one who can't say it. I'm not sure. This is like, we're not actually sure how the curse works, but Eric is the only one who has broken the code. And it would actually be great if this is actually the thing.
Just an Eric thing?
If only Eric is the one
him.
who can never say it, and everybody else can say it as much as they want. It would actually be the greatest thing.
This team is uncursable. They're not a curse.
Wow.
This team is different.
Dude.
Wow.
This is a different type
My
of
God.
team.
I want so bravely to agree with you, but I'm so mad at you for saying that into a microphone.
It doesn't matter. We're not going to
We
tempt the
personally
fate.
are cursed.
I will say, yeah. It's actually just us who are cursed. I will say, though, Dev, we like to have fun. I mean, sports are fun. It's fun. This is why, I'm not a superstitious person in any circumstance, but I am with sports, not because I actually believe it, just because it's fun. It's fun to be superstitious. It's fun to put your hat on backwards, during a rally or whatever. Like, these things are fun. And so for sports, it does make this fun thing. But I like your point about, we talked, what was the card we got in the tarot card about getting off the cross? And so one of it was like Nuggets fans have to realize,
let go of the devil.
Let go of the devil. Yeah,
Reverse
let
devil.
go of the devil.
Let go of
stop
hell.
doing this. And I do like this idea of saying no, the Nugget, Kevin Durant trade happens. Like, oh my God, how can this happen to Denver? Denver fans must be sick, this or that. And some of yeah, but we're also good. And actually, I think we're better. So we don't care about the happenings around the league. Totally. And I really do think there's something to it. What happened?
I said to cut Dev's mic.
The chat is having a Hall of Fame night, by the way. Someone said, how does Eric have better connection in Serbia than Harrison does from Ball Arena?
We're unsure about why that is. Anyway, KCP was great tonight. And his 3 steals, 1 block, man. That steal he had on Luka where he intercepted the pass, total defensive back play, wasn't it? Wasn't that a total or safety, a total interception?
Oh, yeah.
Jumped in front of the receiver and stole it. It was such
I
a
love
great defensive
There's
play.
only one thing KCP can't do.
What's that?
Finish a fast break layup. Other than that, he's a perfect basketball player.
That was a weird play in and of
He
itself
just can't
tonight.
do it.
Yeah.
Just can't buy it.
That was a really weird one. I honest to God love KCP. I can't believe how much I love this
He's
dude.
been a perfect fit.
Christian Braun got some minutes on Luka tonight, and I thought he did pretty good. He had some good playmaking moments in the first half. And here's the thing. I don't think Dallas played Denver the way they're going to play them in a playoffs. I don't think Denver played Dallas. I mean, they're obviously missing Aaron Gordon, who's going to be the matchup there. But I just don't think Denver will ever use Bruce Brown on Luka Doncic. I don't think they ever should because he can't guard him. Christian Braun can't guard him either. But I did think that he had a couple possessions where you're in a playoffs, AG can't guard him the whole time. You got to throw different looks at him. I think Christian Braun, from what I saw tonight, is a guy that I would not mind guarding Luka for 5 to 10 minutes in a playoff game. Again, it's not the main assignment, but just as a mix-up, another body. I like it more than KCP, more than Bruce Brown, because those guys are too little. I actually like Christian Braun as an option on Luka, even though Luka went off tonight. He was unbothered, but it's okay. 37-4, 9 and 4. Didn't move the needle at all.
You're not ever going to lock a guy down that's that talented, but just giving them different looks. And I think that's what's been great about Christian Braun for the last couple of weeks, or just this time of not having Aaron Gordon, not having Jamal Murray. You have a young guy in the league getting real minutes, getting real looks of how fast the game is, how intense it is, how physical it is, and he's seeing different guys. So when you get a look at Luka, okay, I can hold my own against these type of guys, or I can just have these small wins. Of course, they're not going to have Christian Braun guard Luka in a playoff series if they were to play, but what's stopping you from having those type of minutes? What's stopping you from going deep in the bench on a stagger time where Christian Braun is going to have to give him a couple of minutes? So I just love the learning on the fly and also against the best type of players in the league for Christian Braun.
That's the thing about Christian Braun is defensively, he's not really just a guard, or at least not the way maybe guys like Bruce are, even KCP. He's really long, man. He's really long and obviously relentless. So and discipline. So it's a good option. Bruce is just too small for it. I really like the way you frame that, though. So many questions at DNVR Nuggets, at our various counts. Why Bruce? Why Bruce? And I think you're right. I think that's a regular season look without Kyrie on the floor. Yep. And I think in a series, Denver would probably cook something else up, particularly if AG was healthy, of course.
It's almost better that AG wasn't there tonight because it is one of those ones where it's like, we know what we'll do here. And here's the thing. It's the same. This was not a very good representation of the Dallas Mavericks either tonight. And Eric's point was a great one as well when he was on, just saying that, like, Dallas is like Denver 4 or 5 years ago where they weren't always focused. And you'd be like, damn it, why don't you just finish off, do this or that? But Denver is above that now, and they can win despite not showing their hand now because of how talented they are. Let's take a break. On the other side, I do want to talk about Thomas Bryant and Reggie Jackson having himself a good time on the bench tonight. Little story, but kind of a fun one. I want to talk about it.
Yeah, because he's not in Clipperland anymore.
Might be true, man.
Everyone wants to
I'm telling you. Let's talk about that.
All right, let's do it. But first, we got to talk about DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. If you ain't downloaded it yet, go ahead and do that now. Use promo code DNVR when you sign up. New customers can bet $5, get $200 in bonus bets instantly. But look, there's always money to be made for existing users too. Right now, there's a no-sweat same-game parlay. If you're kind of been watching Dev do his same-game parlays, you want to get in on it with a responsible unit just to have fun, but you're not trying to lose your same-game parlay. Try a no-sweat one. They're going to give you a free bet back if one leg doesn't hit. There's a lot of things to bet on right now. NBA, MLB's coming around the corner. So there's a lot of money to be made with DraftKings, whether you're a new or existing customer. Download that puppy now. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions do apply. So go ahead and see show notes for details. You can find those show notes on the YouTube description and your podcast description. And fellas, we've been robbed of the Colorado's premier two-man game lately. Thank God for Backus and Schenker. The next guy's up when it comes to two-man game. When you get hurt, Backus and Schenker are there to help. They win for Colorado families, just like the Denver Nuggets, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic win in Ball Arena just about every time, man. And they're not going to charge you until they've won money for you as well. And they do that. They've won over $1 billion for their clients. They've got locations in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, Fort Collins. They've got the strength and power to win your case. Backus and Schenker are great, but it's not just them. There's more than 30 lawyers.
Who was the Backus and Schenker of the game today?
Porter and Jeff.
Porter and Jeff were the Backus and Schenker.
Backus and Schenker.
All right.
All right, we're out of control. Hey, they help with all kinds of injury cases where you were.
Yeah, who was Backus?
Well, careful. Careful with that word. Backus and Schenker helps with all kinds of injury cases when you weren't at fault. Car accidents, motorcycle, rideshare, pedestrians, trucks. Write this number down, 222-2222. You got it? Good. You got Backus and Schenker at your back.
Tomorrow, remember to do day 4 reads.
Because I did the day 5 reads on day 4. I'll write that down right now, actually.
Write that one down. Segment 3, we're coming back here. Here's what I want to ask now. Actually, I want to talk about Thomas Bryant first. It's hard to judge Thomas Bryant. He did have that really big play tonight. He had 8 points and 5 rebounds tonight, 3 of 5 shooting in 14 minutes. So he's actually still produced stats, even though I felt like even less so than the last game, the ball didn't really find him. His points, he just manifested out of anything. One of the things I'm most curious about after the break is just how much do they tailor things around him? Because tonight it's very clear that they have simplified the bench offense and that it's not really running through him in any capacity. He's just kind of like standing, spacing the court, and then trying to rebound. Dev, what did you see from him tonight? And based on what you know about him, how much do you think they're going to really work sets to get him the ball, like to make him the focal point? Not all the time, but sometimes.
I honestly, I thought that going into the Thomas Bryant experiment that they would do a little bit more of experimenting with this game, putting the ball in his hands and maybe like running some plays where they're dropping it off and seeing how good of a finisher he is, because he is one of the better finishers in the league. The fact that they have not done that yet, makes me believe that they're just going to continue to play like free flowing. Yes, they're getting back, a player in Reggie Jackson, who's going to add a different element. Also, you're going to have Bruce Brown, now step into that second unit. And then Jeff Green, who now is showing that he can score. I don't know if they're going to just go through him like I originally thought. But I think that that's great that he's shown that he can still generate offense. He can still play within the flow. He does not need the ball. Like, I think it's been great to see how Thomas Bryant has been a great team player. Like, he's not upset that he's not taking shots. He let out a actual
I loved it.
Actual height. Like, he was happy for himself when he got that finish.
It was a beast play, man. He should have been happy. That was like a hard rebound, a hard putback.
5 rebounds in 13 minutes tonight.
So, like, I really think that it is great that he's, like, owning what he is right now without the offense being tailored to him. And it just goes to show that they did not promise that for him.
Yeah, I think, tonight's outlier stuff, without trying to knock our guy Jeff, who scored 24 points in 25 minutes, which is awesome. Don't think that's happened. That's not something you're banking on. So I do think, whatever the half-court identity is for that group, if and as Reggie gets worked in there, would probably have a lot more to do with Bryant. I just, look, tonight was one guy shot 16 times and with good reason. He was hitting all of them. Don't think that's going to be how it looks going forward.
Yeah. And then Reggie Jackson today on the sideline, he really was going crazy a few times, man. Somebody DM'd me and was like, hey, take a look. And then that was like in the first quarter, second quarter, something like that. And then from then I just started paying attention, and they were cutting him. Look, we talk about pandering. We talk about all these things. The players know how to do it. But I think with Reggie, there is an interesting thing that I'm curious about. He is going from one of the weirdest teams in the NBA and the Clippers. Very talented, but they have a leader in Kawhi who never talks and who sometimes, like, the word on Kawhi is that he's almost a separate entity, and he's always operated this way, where it's like he does his own thing and lets the team know. And I think that the Clippers have bent over backwards to accommodate him because it's the Clippers, and they needed to reestablish. So you have to hey, we have to do extra things for this guy. And I just wonder, coming to Denver and just having the culture that Denver has had and everything. And then he mentioned today from the 6 seed to the 1 seed. I'm just early returns, or that he seems very pumped up to be part of this group.
Yeah, and that's not even touching the court yet. I'm sure that there's just some excitement. And it's also just a change of scenery. There's different type of expectations with the Clippers. You have their superstars who are very awkward superstars. And then you see a team that you've I know that being in the league, the conversation is around Jokic being an unselfish superstar. Guys have come in, like Austin Rivers, and said that, Jokic is willing to shoot on the side court and things like that. Like, you hear those type of things as fans, so I know that you hear it as players, that there's an excitement of, okay, this is a real team. They're young. They have a superstar who also is not really outgoing and out there, but at least they're fun and free flowing. And then around him, everybody else wants to just have fun. So I think that you just go from tight to loose, a loose atmosphere where you could be yourself.
Right.
Yeah, the vibes have just been better in Denver since the bubble, right? Go to Game 7 and look at the two teams. Now, obviously, one team won, one team lost, but look at their reactions. And if I'm on the losing team, I think I want to be a part of the other team. And in that part, it's pretty simple. But there's also something in the modern NBA, what it means to be a buyout guy at 8 out of 10 times. You're joining a top 2 seed with some heliocentric stud, and he's going to carry the team. It's his team on and off the floor. And on the floor, it's a lot of you standing and waiting. And that's just not really what it's like in Denver. Sometimes you are, but with the expectation that the ball's coming,
right,
and that you'll be open and that it won't stick too long, because as much as Jokic is this high usage player, it's not, the ball isn't in his hands forever. I don't think it's the same as being all right, I'm going to team up with Luka and we'll see how these next 2 months go, and then I'm hitting free agency. You get there and you're like, oh, this is a team. This looks lit. I want in on this.
Putting you guys on the spot because I didn't prep you for this, but how do what's your biggest takeaway, I guess, or positive takeaway from the first half of the season? I know it's not technically half, it's closer to 2/3, but the All-Star break kind of feels like a spiritual half. What's your big take of this stretch so far?
That the team picked up 41 wins without being at their best or at their healthiest. We have not seen this full team yet, and they're still in first place in the West. That's different. There's been a lot of wins that no one's been used to. But they just seem to have a calmness to them. They still seem to be underdogs in a lot of these situations where they feel comfortable in this spot. So I think it's just the wins. That's the biggest thing for me, with the idea of there's more.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to go with Porter just because was such an, I think, look, the three most important parts of the team, Jamal Murray, I think we all assumed at some point he would look good again. Jokic was going to be probably even better because he gets better somehow every year. It was about Porter, and not just can he hit shots, but the way we led the show. Will you enter the playoffs talking about him as a circle of trust guy? With the exception of the heel stuff, which thankfully, knock on all the wood, looked unconnected from, more serious issues.
Right.
He's stayed on the court. He's improved when he's played. And I think, remember when the season started, we were worried, oh man, are they going to have to close with Bruce every time? Is that going to be a problem? And we're so far away from those concerns. You can do that as a feature of this roster, but more often than not, they haven't had to. That's a big win.
I saw Nino something in there had a good take. It was Calvin is really good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to phrase it that way. But it's part of it. The way I'll phrase it is, I think Denver more than ever before has an identity. And part of this is the guys they got rid of and the guys they brought in, including Bones, by the way. The guys, it's hey, no, this is what we are. We share the ball. We play through Jokic. And then we guard with length with all these other spots. But it's very unselfish. It's a very equal opportunity, and there's a lot of talent. But I just think that the Nuggets know who they are at this point in the season better than ever before, in large part because the guys on the roster all naturally, to some degree, naturally fit in. I think Michael Porter's the exception to that. I don't think he naturally fits into this role, but has made himself into that. He has grown into fitting into this system. And that's how you get to 41 wins. And I have a question we'll ask sometime next week. I don't want to ask it now, but it's, have we more seen Denver's ceiling or their floor so far this season? And I kind of, at this moment, without thinking about it too much, think it's more the floor, because what we're seeing is a team, when you know who you are and everybody accepts your role, the game comes easy to you. And I think what we are going to see over the next couple of months, hopefully, is Denver now turn that switch on. So I'm just so encouraged by them because, again, I think that they're in fourth gear, I would say. It's not like they're in second gear on the whole season. Tonight they were. But I think that we've seen third or fourth gear Nuggets all year, and that's 41-18. And then here's another stat for you. I think Jokic, the Nuggets have only lost 4 home games. They're 27-4 at home. I think 3 of those home losses were without Jokic.
Correct. Just the Dallas loss by 1. He was on the floor.
And that was the games immediately after he came back from was that right after COVID or shortly after? I don't remember. Either way.
I think your timeline's right, though.
Either way, it doesn't matter. The point remains that the Nuggets at home are just almost automatic right now. Some of this is teams being afraid to come in, but some of this is Denver's really good, and the only variable that they have that's sometimes questionable is shooting. They shoot really well. But at home, you're just they're going to shoot well, they're going to play well, they're going to dominate. And I think this home court advantage is really, really special at the moment.
I think more than stars resting, informing the home record, it's the other way around. I think teams are looking at road trips and going forget the Denver game, man. We're going to lose. We're going to lose that game.
Denver has more conference wins than any team in the NBA by a decent margin. I don't know who's second. They have 29 conference wins. The next closest is the Celtics with 25. So they have 4 more conference wins. Who do you play in the playoffs? Your conference.
That's right, Adam.
I think, honestly, I just think Denver's in such a good spot. I'm so encouraged by them. When I talk about them knowing their identity, though, this is the one thing that's tough. After the All-Star break, Reggie Jackson's going to play. He said in his presser before the game, he's here to play. He's going to play. How many minutes he plays and who does he take out of the rotation? What style of basketball? How does it change? These are all questions. Thomas Bryant, where does he fit in? So I think that there might be a short period of rediscovery of who you are, especially with that bench. But nonetheless, I still expect big things for Denver post All-Star break. All right, let's take a break. On the other side, we'll wrap up by doing super chats and maybe a quick around the association, because is this the official last day? Does anybody play tomorrow? Yeah, there's a couple games tomorrow, but this was close to the last game before the All-Star break.
Man, pregame show, I got lambasted for my pen choice, and now I'm getting destroyed for how slowly I drink this beer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Pins and Aces is the official golf apparel partner of DNVR. They have so much gear. They have amazing polos, hats, golf bags. But you know what I'm all geeked up to talk about. It's the beer sleeve. 7 beers in your golf bag.
How many beer sleeves have we helped sell so far? I hope it's a lot.
It's my personal mission. If I could push one product. Get yourself the beer sleeve. You can fit not 6, but 7 ice-cold beers and keep them cold the entire round. Because the only thing more important than looking dope on the golf course is drinking 7 ice cold beers. Maybe playing well, depending on who you are. But you can get all of this. You can look good, you can play well, you can drink good. You can do it all thanks to Pins and Aces. Check out pinsandaces.com. Use code DNVR to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
All right, Kale, we got some super chats. The people super chat us tonight. Lots? Hell yeah. How many? Man, the people were feeling it.
Marco, scheduling, All-Star Game, 3-point contest. Are we Kevin in NBA's Home Alone?
Like, what is that? Everybody left us?
No, yeah, they forgot about us.
Everybody forgot about us.
Yes, you know how I feel.
I mean, it really is true, man. It really is true. They always forget. They always forget. We got to mow through these. Donnie says...
Jeff Green, backometer? He's back.
It's Jeff Green back.
That's a good one.
Steven, Kennecut. Guys, the bench might be good now. Or the Mavs bench is trash. Not sure which at the moment.
Tonight was probably both. But I will say this, man. What is this, 2 or 3 games in a row where the bench has been like neutral or positive? Like, it's encouraging.
That's true,
it's
man.
Encouraging.
Shout out Uncle Jeff, playing harder, playing well. Jeremy J. Rock, Mikhail. What more can you say? We are in uncharted waters. Captain Yoke steering the ship to the chip. He ain't Serbian slinging to Faku no more.
I love
Nuggets.
I love when people bring it on the super chats, man. I love it.
Joseph Zigman. So now we're just murdering teams without 2 of our starters? What's next?
I'm telling you. What's next is, and this isn't sincerely, what's next is the post-All-Star break where teams say, now it's serious. We got to focus in. There's 20. How many games left? 21 or something like that. It's not that many. It's like, hey, we don't have that many games to prove who we are. Let's start doing it. And that's why I'm real excited.
Also, teams are going to be in desperate spots where they're having to fight to be in the playoff race or the positioning. So teams do have to be serious. Denver might have the luxury to not have to be as serious.
Yeah, but I want them to be serious in the games they play.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Be selective, but Denver has 2 games against Memphis, a game against the Cavs, a game against the Clippers. I want them to treat those games like measuring stick games. Like, hey, let's see if we can impose our will. We don't have to do it for 48, but let's see if we can't show this team that we're in a different class.
Sir Sketch. Been a minute since I sent a super chat.
Hell yeah.
Just sending my love and letting you know I'm spreading the gospel of Jokic in my new home in Vegas.
Oh, hell yeah.
Forever.
I know they've never heard of him there.
They have not heard of him. The
We'll
Joker.
see you at Summer League.
The Joker.
Casinos have.
Casinos.
Team Jokic, MPJ fully in the circle of trust. Great effort and focus, especially without Murray and Gordon. Love him driving the mid-ranges as well. Not to mention 5 threes. Hashtag Porter, Mr. Nugget.
Some people have been talking about Vlaco, Mr. Nugget. Is there like...
That'd be an awesome timeline, man. That'd be a great
I'm just
timeline.
saying, like, a lot of people don't... Mr. Nugget's been it's been a tough year to figure this out.
We're just never going to do it. Max Smith, DNVR is in my circle of trust.
Yeah.
Cheers,
That's
Max.
a real one.
From round to round it
That
goes.
is a real one, Max.
That is a real one. I'm glad to be in someone's circle of trust.
I know, it feels nice. I don't think I ever have before. Colorado, Nugs.
Definitely not mine.
Nah, I know. Nugs in 5. No D in Alice. Alas, Dallas. Dallas without a D. You guys get it. Edgar
Sucks reading these from so far. You have to squint.
Edgar
Feels like you
Rodriguez.
can't read.
MP3. Devin's still the GOAT.
Hey.
Wait,
Edgar.
what? Those
2 completely separate.
2 completely separate ideas.
No, they're actually pretty similar. There's things in common there.
Usually when Porter hits a 3, my next thought is Dev is the GOAT. Terrence Van Leeuw. Jokic almost seemed angry that he had to score in the second. Those were some angry buckets. Easy buckets, too. Light work.
Yoke's ready for the All-Star break.
Yep.
We're going to... Oh, man.
Freddie, hot take of the year. By the time we face the Suns in the playoffs, MPJ will be able to guard at KD effectively. Now we're in 6 pepper
You're
territory.
scorching.
What an amazing game. Nuggets are great. 5-5-5-5-5-ish. What a great way to go into the All-Star break. Another great win, down only 9 more great wins till 50 great wins in the Nuggets-led West.
Only 9 more.
That's crazy how close we are. Only 9 more to 50. That's crazy.
I do want to say 50 was always a pretty low bar, but he's not. It's been a fun countdown. I like numbers 26 and 0 on triple doubles. That streak is still alive.
That's a dope streak.
It's a great streak. Thanks to Michael Malone, who stat padded his ass off.
That's
tonight.
so true. We didn't even talk about that. That was a total stat padding.
Total stat
Yo,
pad
what
job.
was he?
It's coming. It's coming.
Is it coming?
You
All
might
right,
as
I'll
well
leave
wait.
it. I'll leave it.
That's
Thank
Trey. I was able to make the Nuggets song and perform at halftime during the 2009 playoff run. This season is exceeding those vibes. Thank you for all the time put in to contribute to the fan experience.
Love that.
Man, that was a
Make
good
the
one.
Nugget song, huh?
That was
Feel
a
good.
good one.
That one feels good.
That one feels awesome.
So
what a
many.
vibey year.
I know. What a
Remember
great
the
night.
first like 15 games where we were like, man,
We're still in Burger Day.
Gonna stop.
and then it just clicked.
James Jimmy, certain life that shall not be named. Yep. $2 reversal. Nice, James.
Someone-
James paid
Someone paid for the reversal.
to reverse the.
Reversal. I like that, man.
It's a good guy.
Our people
and he
are all in
didn't.
this together.
Hold on, he didn't call me out.
Well,
Well, I think he was bailing you out.
yeah, he
is
bailed
what
you out, is what he did.
John Host, vote is the GOAT of ad reads. That's the first time
Real
anyone
one.
has said
Real
that. But thank you, John.
Also,
John-
like, what a weird compliment. You know, that's like, how do you feel
I know.
about that?
It's like, Vlatko cheers hard off the bench. I could tell Reggie Jackson was genuinely excited. I think he was, man, and with good reason.
He's a body language expert. That was genuine.
Terrence Van Leeuw, no more superstitions. We're good now. It's not luck.
Have you guys ever watched? There's this panel of guys. They're like ex-cops and CIA guys. They have a YouTube channel. They're all body language experts, and they like analyze high-profile interviews and stuff. It's actually very fascinating. I've watched a few of these episodes. Very fascinating. But the stuff they pick up on is absurd. It's absurd. They're like, you notice how he, right when he talked, this muscle right here, they furrowed his brow. That shows a tense. It's like crazy. I love it, man. Like, you notice how his right hand keeps showing his palm. It's unbelievable. Highly recommend.
We should do an episode with those guys.
We should.
Keenan Ivory, Wayne's voice.
Does Bones, like, we should have him analyze some of Bones's like answers.
Do you guys think Kyrie and Murray cancel each other out? I think they destroy all West teams in 5 games, including Warriors. They beat the Suns in 6. Hey, man, I love the
We're feeling it,
confidence.
man. We're feeling it. Honestly, the evidence of the season so far suggests yes.
I know.
Where how incomplete is the evidence is the question.
But this is just that meme. Like, what are you going to do? Stab me?
yeah.
Basketball gods can't wait. John Host, so happy now the Nuggets are going into All-Star break. Me too, man. I think they did what they had to do and they could use the break. Charlie Anderson. You guys are so fun. I watched the Nuggets because of
Hell
you.
yeah, man.
Charlie, dude.
I think the Nuggets are more fun than us personally.
Me too.
But I do like
Not
the
me.
show.
Not me.
Me too. But like if the Nuggets ever get really bad, there's a chance we could.
You guys think about it this way. It's funny when you phrase it this way. We have come to the Winners Lounge 41 times. We've only 18 times to the Losers Lounge. It's a lot of Winners Lounges, man.
Let's think about it this way. There is 1,100 people that are watching us right
Hell
now.
yeah.
1,100 people probably did not watch the Nuggets game because they couldn't.
I love the math. It works out. It checks out.
It's science.
Everybody knows
Steve
that.
Wynn, please ask Ariana to reverse the abominable curse Dev just unleashed on us.
Wow.
You guys, we have to just wait and
Abominable.
see. We just have to wait. All you know is that if something bad happens, then
Steve
we
tried to call
blame.
me out.
I'm
And don't
just
just
saying.
start trying to blame anything. It's just like
I'm just saying.
anything that happens.
I'm just saying. Murray's not back for game number 1 from the All-Star
I
break.
retroactively
I'm telling you right now.
blame you for the 3-point contest. How about that? Edgar Rodriguez,
That's a
Joker
good
had
punishment.
a triple-double faster than Vogt finished his beer.
Oh, I love it.
I love that
Are
we're
we at
calling
the-
people
are
out
we
now.
at the bully part of the
Yes,
Super Chat?
there we
Let's
go, man.
Didn't want to slur my words on the show, but next time I'll get hammered.
Yeah, there you go.
Charlie Anderson, the Nugs are so good right now.
Man, Charlie Anderson is bringing it. Everybody's feeling it. $2 at a time.
Charlie Anderson again.
Oh, yeah.
Good vibes, fellas. Nuggets are a juggernaut.
Man, a juggernaut. I want them to remain. It's hilarious. The Nuggets are both a juggernaut and under the radar somehow.
I know, it's awesome.
It's the best.
Shout out Phoenix. Dylan Pounds. Did Malone leave Jokic into stat pad a triple-double?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course,
And he
did, man.
deserved it.
Yeah.
And
Hard
you're going
yes.
into the All-Star break. You want your guy to feel confident going into the All-Star break.
He feels confident. Yoke's confident.
I don't know. It just feels a little bit better that you get to go for that record.
I like the idea of Yoke finishes with 9
Needs
assists,
confidence.
and he's
Just
like,
needs
I don't feel like myself right now. I will say this though. Here's how you know it was stat padding. With Yoke, first of all, he got like 4 assists in the last 5 minutes. He just kept getting them, and you're like, okay, this is what's happening. But then he had like a bunch of attempted assists. Vlatko missed a couple of them. The Mavs pulled their starters, And usually Denver will play like one more possession after that just to make sure or whatever. They played like 6 more possessions because they couldn't get him one. Yo gets a triple-double. They pull him
The
out.
ball also kept on finding Vlatko.
It did keep
I was
finding
like,
him.
does he hate him now?
I know.
We should probably not read any more super chats.
Do we have some bad ones?
No, we should just we
There's
should
one
just
more.
let him go.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's so weird. I can't read this one, Dev.
Man, this is the first
Something-
person that has given me a positive
can't-
feedback.
I'm trying to read it.
Dev,
My brain's
great,
just,
but Adam, goat. Charlie, my guy. This might be the first positive Adam super
Charlie Stunk chart.
tailed cratered off there at the end.
Lacking ball. Why does Brandon Vogt hate the Celtics? Just wondering.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I don't even know who that is.
Just wait. Just wait. If the Nuggets play the Celtics in the finals, let's revisit that question together.
Oh my God, I know. Have you ever been to Boston? Have you ever met anyone from Boston? Have you ever read anything about how Jason Tatum is like
Because
better
Jason
than Jokic?
Tatum's in the 3-point contest. That's why I hate. That's why.
What's he shooting again?
35%. Thanks for asking.
35%.
Yeah.
Is that because? Why is that?
Because of all the horrible shots he keeps taking. The good shots he takes, he hits them, but he can't stop taking bad ones.
I'm so glad you're back. I was honest to God, those first couple weeks of the season, man, I was so mad that Celtics hate and vote was gone.
I was trying not to like. It was related to Dev's mistake earlier. Like I was trying to.
I did make a mistake.
That you're right.
I'm still in on that, and it's starting to look good too.
So
Guys are
ridiculous,
fucked.
man. Guys, we have a great show for you tomorrow. Grace Barlow's joining the show. First time joining the show.
What a treat.
What a treat. It should be a fun one, and it'll be our last one before we head into this All-Star weekend. It's going to be weird. Everybody, get away for the weekend. We're going to tune into All-Star weekend. We're going to be watching. We'll be tweeting about it. We'll be doing all this stuff. But it really is the last little breath of air that we get to take. Tomorrow we're going to look back at this first part, ask ourselves some questions about, put a bow on this pre-All-Star game portion of the season. And it's gone beautifully. You can hit that outro music, Kale. But then everybody get out, go bird watching.
Dude, that's at the top of my list.
Are you going to go?
No.
The Juncos are in town, the slate covered.
The
They're
Juncos.
so gorgeous. Yeah, they're really gorgeous.
Dev, you want to play video games instead?
Ah, damn it.
What?
Are you guys
I'm
gonna
thinking
play?
about not going to work tomorrow so I can play. Resurgence just dropped, baby.
Let
Can
me
you
know.
say that?
Let me
like,
know,
will
dog.
somebody from school see this and then be like, Dev, we know you're not sick. You said you were not coming in.
No, you can't ask questions in education. And I just can fake like I have a kid.
You can't. Hey, Dev, what time did you go to bed last night? You're not allowed to ask.
can't ask
Oh my
questions.
God. Anyway, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. Nuggets get the win. They improved to 41 wins. Everything's vibey. Buzzer beater winning. Big Namek.
DNVR power rankings. 1, Dev, Adam, Vogt, D-Line, Harrison, and everyone else. 2, see above.
Hey, that's what I like to
we
hear.
go.
We love that one.
Love
Hit that
it.
like button on the way out.